Hello, friends. Good evening, everybody. This is Shamul here. I'm fine now, absolutely fine. So, last 7 days I was going through lot of stress, trauma due to sudden loss of my mother. That is on 8th May 2021 due to COVID, and 15th May, same repetition. Father died due to COVID and stress. I was literally mindless last few days. Before that, last 14 and 15 months due to COVID lockdown, there is absolutely no physical normal work what I have been doing for last 25 years. So there is a sudden break what I felt. I really do not know what kind of break it is good for me or bad for me. I really do not know. I hope the time will decide which is bad or good. Today, my purpose of coming and talking about, there is absolutely nothing in my mind that what is the topic I'm going to talk. I was just analyzing and wondering how to release the stress, how to come down to a normal situation, because his mind is full of thoughts that is going on. It's a chaos. So I have to find out if this is a chaos theory, I have to find out a symmetry. I have to channelize my thought process. I have to come down to the reality level. That is what I am trying to do it. So what are the ways out? When you do not have anybody to talk, with whom you will be talking? I am talking about anybody means nobody has time to talk. Everybody in the physical world, everybody has got certain job to do, normal work to do. Similar way, I have also similar kind of activities from morning to evening till going to bed, then again get up. There is a cyclic timer that is fitted in your mind, and you keep on repeating the same thing. I was wondering, like, I asked question myself, have I loved myself any time? Has anybody you loved yourself? Have you dissected any time yourself that for what purpose you have in this earth? Has anybody sent you? Or just like that you born and you grow up, you go to school, go to college, go to university, do some research, get a job, publish some paper, take retirement, and then your break even point, it comes down, this comes down to, again it falls down. You feel that you are not able to do anything. You wait for the decline state. It is a very kind of a bacterial multiplication. If you see the growth curve, you will understand. It is the purpose of your life. Yes, this is everybody thinks this is the purpose of life. But friends, get into the deeper of this understanding of life. You have a purpose. Every time I've been telling to everybody, I ask my friends, what is the purpose of life? They say, enjoy, get a salary check, whatever things they are doing, enjoy life. This is one kind of enjoyment, definitely. One should appreciate what they are doing in their way. But philosophically, one need to get into the deeper into in understanding what I am talking about. Have you ever analyzed yourself, your potential? Have you ever dissected yourself? Have you got any time to analyze by touching the heart? You can see back of there is a photograph that is the picture of Buddha. Very childhood, fifth standard, sixth standard history book. I just read about few lines about the Buddha, the great Buddha. Everybody talks about the Buddha. I had an intention, who is Buddha? Let me understand. So in history, there are few lines about Buddha. Like other people, you read, digest, and give exam. Get into 12th standard, then you get into the science stream, whatever stream you have, pursue whatever subject. If you are a science student, then get into your direction. You wanted to be a doctor, engineer, whatever. So our philosophical understanding of life is not given. Sometimes I feel Gautam Buddha, he is not from a school, his education and everything, what kind of learning he has taken. And if I enter into his work, his philosophical understanding of life, it's quite amazing. No university, no institute can give such kind of enlightened thing. That is what I feel personally. Friends, let me come back about the Buddha, about his philosophy of life, and that can impact millions to give new direction. And I'll tell you how my life journey has been totally changed from the philosophy of Buddha. Today I am under stress. I have a big painting at home at back of my wall that has been installed long back. That gives me immense pleasure when I go to enter into the room. Now I am sitting over here, backside Buddha is there. I am getting energy at the end of the day, as if I am communicating to Buddha. He is telling me something, some spiritual thing, to telling me, get out from the materialistic thing what you have, understand or your inner core. Friends, I'll come back to you. It is a very interesting thing. Why I'll tell you is very interesting. There is a reason behind it. Just give me 1 minute. Friends, Gautam Gautam Buddha is from a very rich family. He is not having any kind of problem. It was told he will be the king. It is understood. But he left everything. He left everything. He got married, even had a kid. After that, the philosophical things, he could give up everything. That is the journey I am trying to understand this person, because Buddha is as human like us. So his philosophy of life, we really need to understand that is what and how this can be influenced others in present day. The relevance of Buddha, whether is there or not, one really get into the person very well. His philosophy, it has to be understood. Friends, Buddha was born in 625 BC. It's long before Christ, close to 2500 years ago. After Buddha's death, his philosophy and understanding has been promoted across Southeast Asia globally. Now close to 6 to 7% Buddhist followers are there. Sri Lanka, some part of China, India, across the globe there are followers. It is coming down because of various reasons that probably I am not getting into that part because there are many things are there. My concentration is the philosophy of Buddha, the few aspects of life, how Buddha has seen life in his own way. That is what more important for me. I want to discuss about those parts. The doctrine of Buddhism. What are the areas he has concentrated in philosophical understanding of life? He was talking your life is a body, physical body, it has got a sufferings. If you are going through any pain or suffering, there are ways out to come out from the suffering. That is what is very interesting to me. Friends, let me explain what are the things. He dissected his life into 4 ways. One is dukkha, sorrow, trishna, thirsty. Another is nirvana. The 4th one is samsara. Dukkha means your life is full of sorrows and pain, and that pain has to be relieved. So physical body, the main properties is the pain. To release that, you need to have few things down the line. That is what he is trying to convey. His existence of suffering, and suffering has a cause. That is what one of the fundamental thing is philosophy and understanding. There is a cessation of suffering, for that samsara. You need to also go through samsara dharma. That is also he is telling. In spiritualism, he is not at all eliminating the samsara, the last part. That is very important. It has got 8 components. What are those 8 components? I was trying to understand this person and get into some logical conclusion. Friends, what are the 8 points? It's a right resolve, right reasoning, right understanding, right direction, critical analysis. Those are few things he is talking about. His 8th understanding of his life. Right mindfulness, right concentration, and right direction. Those are the things is going to change the whole dimension of life. Friends, what I was trying to tell, he talks about many things in his philosophical understanding: not to steal, not to attach to physical world or love towards any physical object. That is what he is trying to isolate from, keeping aloof from the physical world. Love, compassion, various issues he talked about. A reform from intoxicated people. He is one of the idea. If somebody is intoxicated, if you feel, you should be away from those people. That's why he is talking about the reading mind is one of the important philosophy of Buddhism. You try to analyze your mind and read others' mind very carefully. Your whole philosophical understanding and of life, it is going to give you better dimension to analyze the other side. Either it is any kind of object or non-object or any kind of spiritual thing. That is what he is trying to spread through his philosophy. Friends, those philosophy of Buddhism has got lot of relevance. I'll tell you why and who are the great personality has taken this Buddhism philosophy in their mind, and probably they have excelled in their life. Either it is science and technology, philosophical, many other way. Probably all the physicists, let me again tell you, all physicists, either it is Einstein, Max Planck, Heisenberg, Rutherford, if you read their biography, their philosophical understanding of life tends to spiritualism. If you think of literature like Rabindranath Tagore, Shakespeare, Wordsworth, the similar kind of spiritualism is there, and this is you're exercising and cultivating your own mind. I am not telling this all those things came from Buddha or not. That is a $1,000,000 question. I do not have any evidence or literature to support it. Even Swami Vivekananda, Subhash Chandra, Rishi Aurobindo, all those personalities, they hold the same philosophy. Whatever come from the mind, the rational thinking, imagination, they're all ideas. I find lot of similarities between those personalities and Gautam Buddha. Friends, just wait for a minute. It is getting more interesting. Wait for a minute. Buddha has never ever spread his message. After his death, the disciples, they have taken his philosophy and spread across globe. There are many countries for many years following the Buddhism, the philosophy of life, Buddhism. Sri Lanka, Japan, some part of China, India, there are few places in north side people follow Buddhism, the philosophy of Buddha. There are various reasons of fall of Buddhism. This was spread during Chandragupta Maurya period. Samrat Ashok king, they have taken Buddhism very seriously. After that, Gupta period, I am talking about 325 to 325 BC, that particular time, much before Christ came into the picture. They have started to spread the philosophy of Buddhism, not to kill animals. This is one of the things, probably I'll come back. My purpose of telling all those things to correlate few things. Killing of animals, they feel that every organism there is a purpose is there. It is our duty to restore it, not to tell lies. Be straightforward. There are many philosophical understanding that is going to help the modern society to build a character. I told you Swami Vivekananda, Subhash Chandra, Rishi Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Einstein, Richard Feynman, Oppenheimer, they echo the same philosophy. Either it is from the art, philosophy, science, literature. If you think everything in a philosophical way, the great minds, they have followed the same philosophy. Even though Oppenheimer, this Manhattan Project, he has raised the slogan, blood's in my hand, because his self-consciousness is telling after Second World War not to get into the violent form. That is what his mind is analyzing, his analytical mind is analyzing, not to get into this thing. Same thing is with Einstein. Same thing with another Nobel laureate, Richard Feynman. He is a physicist. Whatever theoretical things they have written, it has a lot of things come from spiritualism, the astrophysics, thermodynamics, nuclear physics. Those are the things, probably it requires a lot of imagination and understanding. Otherwise, in a simple mind, those theories cannot be written. The interpretation, critical interpretation, is very much essential apart from whatever experiment you do. Experiment is the outlet. First you have to think, then you apply your mind and you develop how to prove that theory what you have developed in the science and technology field. It has to be proven. This is a simple procedure. If you see 200 years history of science, there are many scientists, they have tried to get into this resolving this whole universe living world problem. Either you go for the origin of species to Alfred Nobel, to Einstein, to modern day any scientist. If you analyze their mind, they have followed the same philosophy, and that whoever is having very deeper philosophical understanding of analyzing certain object, they are more successful. Obviously one has to write whatever understanding they have after seeing the object. It is something like that. It's an inner eye. Inner eye means it's a physical eye. There is another eyes behind your eyes, probably it's connected to your complex nervous system, that is also connected to a lot of neurons are there, many things are there. They are all physical things, but your analytical power, your reasoning power, the more you sharpen, the more many things you get it. The good literature like Tagore, analysis, Shakespeare, Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, Byron, all those literature, if you see, it has got strong analytical power message that is conveying. Even if it is in the simple English word, each word is very kind of constructive. You cannot eliminate one thing. Similar way, if you take the genetic code, there is something called repetitive DNA. It is repetitive DNA is something like that. It is a block of the same ATGC like this. These are all non-expressive. So there are a lot of scientists there working on those repetitive DNA, which can be useful in understanding the human mind. This repetitive DNA is nothing but in terms of expression. It is either your suppressive, it is basically a suppressive gene. It has to be expressed. For that purpose, when artificially you are doing something, you are making those non-expressive genes to expressive gene. This is very interesting until or unless you have a strong philosophical understanding of the life, how the light builds up. It is not the Watson and Crick model. They are also from the physics. They have worked on biology, but finally they have come out with the model. It's an established model. They have a lot of philosophical understanding in building the DNA structure and revealing the double helix. It is opening up your philosophical understanding of life. Afterwards, biotechnology came into the picture that is been used for many ways. From 1968-69, Haragobindo Khorana genetic code. After that, the science has taken in a different dimension. Similar way, if you see the parallel progress, there is absolutely philosophically you understand there is no difference between physics, biology or molecular biology. When you get into the molecular level, understanding the structure of atom or structure of a cell, one is a life, another is a non-life. But if you see internally the constitution, the nucleus, how does energy is been released, the philosophical understanding of both the cell line and your any ions, both are same. How this is, if you get into the physics and biology, philosophically the understanding of both the things are very same. Similar way, literature, when you write a very kind of a philosophical, meaningful poetry, it has got the essence of deep understanding of your own idea and imagination. This is also parallelly comparable. When Einstein met Swami Vivekananda, the kind of discussion they had, it's a very philosophical thing because both are from different field. What I am trying to tell you here, people can be from different field. At the end of the day, when people have reached up to certain level, their understanding of life, it comes to one platform. The philosophical understanding of life or matter or any object, whatever Einstein feels philosophically, Rabindranath also feels same way, Subhash Chandra also feel, because spiritually Subhash Chandra also holds same kind of philosophy. Rishi Aurobindo, Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, somewhere down the line all are following the equal philosophy. Talk about the Richard Feynman, Oppenheimer, all those great people we will recognize them. They are from the various fields, but the philosophical understanding of life remains same, and it is very simple and fundamental, and which is based on the philosophy of Some are from Buddhism, some are from many spiritual personalities, some are taken from the follower of Christianity. They have also a lot of things. Jesus Christ had spread the love, and this philosophical thing that has been taken and Christianity has spread like anything. What I am trying to tell over here, Buddhism is very kind of strange lifestyle. It is very difficult to follow Buddhism. This is one of the reason it's not spread across the globe. It is restricted to few things because it is very difficult to follow Buddhism. It is absolutely difficult for anybody to follow it. I was wondering, trying to correlate the political philosopher. We talk about Marx, Lenin, whoever has talked about the Marxism philosophy of the society, how society will be, the evolution, the theory, all those things, the life, probably they have also influenced with this philosophical understanding. Whoever is writing Das Kapital and all those things, probably it reflects the similar kind of philosophy. What I am trying to tell you, all those events, what I am talking about, the Buddhism, the philosophy, it is 2500 years back. If you take Jesus Christ, after that before that, your Buddhism has been spread many countries, and the Buddhism is also not very popular in India because of many factors. Number one, the invasion of various entity that is come from, including different, like Muslim, they have attacked, and that time Buddhism is also taken over by Hindus. They are also a jamindar system, small jamindar, the bourgeois system that has been taken over by, from Buddhism is taken over by those, and there is one class system that is developed, the Brahmins. The promotion of Brahmin, that time it came into the Indian society, and gradually people have accepted the fundamentals of Hinduism or the Brahmin philosophy. That what I have. I am not again getting into that part. It can be debated whether this is bad, good. There are literature talks about whether Brahmins or Hindus, they fought with Buddhist or not, try to get into the power, whether this Muslim invasion. There are literature shows there are many issues. Obviously, the history says it is, there are a lot of destruction that is been done and try to suppress the Buddhism. My purpose of telling not to talk about how this is destroyed, this Buddhism philosophy, my purpose of telling how tough this philosophy is, and probably this is one of the reason this could not proceed further. Another thing is there, the materialistic thing are achieved. Buddhism is not talking about materialistic world, talking about the honesty, humanity, not to have any kind of stealing attitude in your money. It is absolutely pure. He is talking about the pure heart and mind, analytical, not to attach to anything. Even you don't kill animals, because I have told you the love for the animals is very much there, because they feel those animals to be restored in order to have the stability of the whole universe. Again, friends, I'll come back how an individual can be influenced by this philosophy of Buddhism. Friends, my understanding of Buddhism is little different. I could see the present day science and development, whatever had come, its origin, if you want to see the philosophical origin from where this thing has come, the Buddhism probably is a platform given opportunity to many to get into understand the deeper understanding of the universe. I talked about whoever is having the good analytical or reasoning power. There are many things Buddhism doesn't allow, like gossiping, refrain or out from toxic people. In talking about the mind, I have told, be straight, the reasoning, understanding. Similar way, modern day science, if you see, I told you, understanding the life, either it is from the Charles Darwin to present day, whoever has contributed, they're greatly influenced by this philosophy. Similar way, in literature, in the field of biology, understanding cell, the nucleus, cytoplasm, it is only this microscopically once you analyze, but one has to get into a lot of analytical thought process in this. By seeing this object, it is not enough. You have to have your own interpretation. So seeing an object is one part. That is what in Buddhism is telling. One can analyze certain people and get into his mind and understand. It is like you are capturing somebody's mind. It's a In modern day we talk about virus, bugs, antivirus. So if you want to get into or create problem to understand all those things, there are new software that has been developed, antivirus, to eliminate the virus. It's the same way philosophically you see this is antigen, antibody. In software terminology, we say virus and antivirus. It is basically a programming. The same philosophy, if you see in the living world, it can be applied in the same way. Understanding electron, proton, neutron in cell line, your nucleus, cytoplasm, how they are releasing energy, how the multiplication is taking place in the biological system. Similar way, if you see how a nucleus where your electron, proton, neutron on all orbits, how the molecules form composite element, one element, another element, how they are doing the bonding, all those analysis is basically as a result of deeper understanding. Whoever is having strong analytical power to understand, they are much more successful in doing that. Friends, what I'm trying to tell you over here, one can correlate with individual life, how is one person is different from another person. That makes the whole thing different. Some are people are ordinary, they can think up to certain level, they can only see the object. The philosopher or other entity, they will see the same object in a different way. The understanding of a philosopher or a scientist or a good mind, the way they object, they understand the very subjective thing in a different way. Ordinary person is only see this is nothing, this is an object. The development of chaos theory and dialectical thought process in modern day people are talking about, it is basically a philosophical understanding, seeing the nature, understanding mind, and everything can be put into that thought process. What is exactly coming from Buddhism philosophy for that matter? I am not telling people have taken all the idea from Buddhism or not, that is not known. Probably this philosophy, once it is spread across the globe, the people might have influenced. Once they are influenced, probably they try to inculcate those idea and try to analyze the physical world in the same direction. And some philosophy they adapt in their life. There are few things, probably each life and understanding of the universe, it varies from man to man, person to person. Your intellectual capability is also based on how strong your philosophical understanding you have about the life, how you see, how you represent the whole thing, very analytical way. That is more important. If you get into the deeper of this problem, not the superficial way. Sometimes we speak that somebody is very superficial. Means what? Superficial means your level of understanding at the surface. That's why if somebody, a good doctor, a good engineer, a good cricketer, a good footballer, they have sharpened their skill in understanding the work they are doing. That is what your specialization is coming into the picture in your professional life. This is all coming from the philosophical understanding of certain philosophy. That's why each and any individual has got certain level of philosophy of his own life. Either this is a good philosophy or bad philosophy, I cannot say, but they hold certain level of understanding of their life, and they pursue it of the rest of the life. It had seen many scientists, many poets, at the end of their life, they have regretted what philosophy they have taken in their journey of life. Even though they are successful, I am not talking about the ordinary people, I am talking about the ordinary people, they do not have the ambition. They have only the ambition is how to survive with the basic need. Their needs are also very limited. Needs means it's a materialistic need. To run the system, run the body, run the family, you need to earn. And most of the people across the globe, they are 24/7 busy in doing such kind of activities. They do not have the time to analyze their mind. That's why great philosopher, great scientist, they are isolated from the society. It is not because they don't like to mix with the people. It is because their thought process, they need to have some time to critically all those things, to write a good poetry, to write a good nice paper, to write a philosophical thing, to write a good prose or novel. You need to have time, and that time only can be given when you are in isolation. Your mind needs certain amount of space to think, to exercise your mind, so that good things to come out. If you go to the materialistic world, let's say I get up 6 o'clock, my job is to bring whatever food material is required for my home. Then after coming, those are things to be clean, kept in the fridge, like a normal exercise. Sometimes you need to prepare food. You have tension to go to office. You have n number of assignment, bank, job, your employees, salary check. There are plenty of, you take multi-dimensional thing, what is required for your day-to-day basis job. Actually, frankly speaking, if you give 16, 17, or 18 hours time to exercise this materialistic world, to carry whatever physical things are required, because until or unless you don't do this work in present day, you are not able to survive, you are not able to run your family. But where is the time to exercise your mind? That's why it is very important to keep some mind, to sharpen your or exercise your mind, to cultivate new things, new idea. This new idea concept is only possible when your mind is totally in a normal state. Then you can think many positive things, then you can correlate from one to another, first to second, second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth. You can come back again this circle. And I am 100% sure the people who are practicing philosophical way of understanding everything, they are very, very isolated people from different normal society. It has been seen many ways. You take all philosophical identity, Rishi Aurobindo or Swami Vivekananda, Subhash Chandra Bose, even after clearing also, he left. He got a better vision. Your perception of life, it is not restricted only to four walls in your family. Your entire country or entire universe is your family. For that matter, their mind is not limited to only this materialistic world, your wife, kid, a nice car, all those materialistic what and gold, jewelry, diamond. There are many. I can keep on telling all those things. But if you see those philosophers, their life is so simple. That makes the real difference. One need to understand this philosophical way of differentiating between what is to be adapted and what is not to be adapted. I am not telling give up this materialistic thing, but logical way, how much you want to keep it, one need to decide this is what the basic necessity. I have seen in Europe, 16th century, 17th, 18th century, they are into materialistic. Now they are converting into the spiritualism. There are many countries in Japan, China, Sri Lanka. I have visited many countries. I have seen the people who are associated to Buddhism, they are very calm. Hardly they speak. They speak within themselves. Sometimes we feel as a normal person, they might be not be they are treated as a different way that this person doesn't speak. Speaking within, you are always asking question. This is all these things are going in your mind because you are, when you take any idea or any thematic area, you always try to cultivate everything. You try to make your own simulation of your models in your mind. As I have told you, those things are very philosophical for an ordinary person, not able to understand it. If you critically analyze it, lot of scientific or scientists, they work continuously 24/7. For them, time is not the important thing. For them, it is important whatever idea at given point in time they have taken, it has to be given a conclusion. Otherwise, they cannot go and sleep. That makes the difference. That is the difference between a worker who is cutting grass or many things. They have a job to do. But philosophically, the person who is thinking in his mind, whatever idea he is taking, it takes very long process. There is a resonance that goes into the mind. And if you have resonance, because your mind, your neuro nervous system is 24/7, is analyzing all those things, and within your mind you are try to draw some logical conclusion, Then finally you want to write it out. Finally the idea, it has to be expressed. The expression is there like a gene expression. It is very difficult. Somebody, can you show me the gene? It is not that way. It is easy that you come a temple and this is the temple. Look, this is the gene, you see it. This is also a philosophical understanding until or unless you put in a piece of paper, what ideas you have and try to develop a model at the end of the day. Then you can go and nicely sleep. Friends, this is a very amazing and interesting thing in the field of literature too. Many people, I have read biography of many great scientists, writer. I have analyzed their life. They have not done many things in their life. They have not taken up multitask, because when you take the multitask, it is very difficult job to give a perfect shape. If you take Satyajit Ray, his film activities, whatever creation he made it very systematically. Means the idea what he had, he will take a piece of paper, he will draw where the camera will be fixed, from which angle shooting to be done, to give the better reality of the picture that he could imagine long back when India has not seen any kind of film and other things. Satyajit Ray has taken a kind of a revolution, and that's why he could reach up to that level. His analytical power of understanding certain things and giving a shape in the film form is a great philosophical job. It is not possible for an ordinary person to judge Satyajit Ray. That's why if you see Pather Pachali, Hirak Rajar, they say how his film is a simple funny thing he is showing in the film, how he is showing a kind of monarchy is converting to democracy through Hirak Rajar Dese, and he is also selection of the acting, whoever is doing it, they are very simple and ordinary. It is not hi-fi that he needs to pay huge amount of money. So it is easier for him to utilize his mind and take the right people to execute the job, final objective he knows. That's why he is successful till he is remembered. Similar way I told you, Rabindranath, everybody, as I've been telling, people might be coming from very affluent family, but if you see individually, that person can be away from the all the materialistic thing, like what Buddha has done it. He has sacrificed the entire kingdom and taken into different path. Similar way, if you analyze Rabindranath, he is in dilemma. It is again, he also belongs to a Jamindar family, but if you see his writing, literature talks about the universe, but somewhere he is fumbling. He is not able to give up this materialistic world 100%. He wants to be also part of the system. Probably the percentage of sharing of his idea and thoughts, and it has taken a particular shape. It is not a conclusive. That's why whatever idea one is taking, it must be very decisive and conclusive. There is no ifs and buts when you are drawing any philosophical understanding. Einstein could not have able to write E is equal to mc square if he is having any kind of problem in their thought process. One has to be very, very clear. That's why all those theory of evolution, if you see Charles Darwin, whatever things he has postulated over there, the origin of species, it is quite amazing. That time science and development is not there, being as a geologist or a life scientist. whatever he has documented by physically seeing all those things and correlating all those factors, it requires a big mind, otherwise it is not possible. Sometimes it is very difficult for us to see in each and everything what is there happening. We go for excursion as a biologist, we collect some sample and come back. And if this journey has to be taken and millions of species has to be taken into consideration, understanding the origin, finding out correlation, species, subspecies, this is not an ordinary job. It requires your mind to function in multidisciplinary way. That's why there are certain mind at a time they can take many jobs, and within your mind you have many compartments. Man like Charles Darwin can do that. There are many people who have pursued their career in the same direction, either in the physics, nuclear physics, thermodynamics, or chemistry, physics, or biology. They have pursued it. The most of the scientists, whoever has discovered many things like discovery of PCR machine, that is polymerase chain reaction machine, or DNA, they are basically the physicists. The physicists are very a different kind of, it requires a lot of analysis. If you want to be a physicist, theoretical physicist, your analytical power, or for that matter theoretical biologist, theoretical chemistry, any other theoretical approach somebody is taking, you have to have hard core analysis of your mind, because finally at the end of the day your mind is going to translate whatever things, whatever idea you have. This is the only way of translating. Think of Stephen Hawking. This gentleman, being as a disabled person, he could analyze about the whole universe, all black hole, all his theory, time, how tough it is for a person to imagine a disabled person. We are able to only know because we have put some synthesizer, and that can be translated, and those ideas now are coming out. Sometimes we question if somebody is disabled, probably he has not got the perfect memory, but contrary, it has seen that a disabled person is much more analytical power than a normal person. I am not getting into that debate whether this person, disabled person, every disabled person probably thinks in that way or not. The question is, we have a real example, that is Stephen Hawking. Friends, each life, coming back, you as an individual, we talked about all those great philosophers, they are there. Everybody has got wisdom to analyze them, what they have done it. But what about your existence? Have you ever asked question that you also have similar kind of potentials? As I have told you, if somebody has sent you in this earth, you have also role to play, or just like that you are here? That is $1 million question. I will come back. I will explain. I will explain my life, how I see, because it is very important for everybody. Each and every individual should analyze the life that is not been seen, that is not been practiced, that is not been told to society to do similar kind of thing. We are told to study, get a job, marry, have kids, you live whatever you want for them, then you die. During death period, maybe 70, 80 or 90s, you regret that I have not enjoyed my life, or I have not given enough time to understand myself. It's a high time for any individual, whoever is 15, 20s, 30s, getting into their professional life, career, family life, working in different dimension. It is very important for them at least give some time for yourself. how you are going to have this time management, that you need to decide. That's why in the calendar there is no scope or not given 7 days work. You work for 7 days. No, Sunday is your holiday because it is not to clean your clothes or prepare good food. There is something else. Probably it is coming on for thousands of years. Nobody has questioned why Sunday is holiday, why Saturday is half day. If you go to Europe, they have 5 working days, 2 days complete rest. They get into their personal thing, they do a lot of activities. I can correlate many things. Europe has produced many good intellectuals, good thinker compared to India, because we do normal traditional job 24/7. We think probably those are the good thing what we are doing without thinking anything. That's why it is very important for anybody to correlate things. Why in Europe you have only 5 days? They also want to earn a lot of money. Like India, you have 6 days, 1 day holiday. They have 5 working days, 2 holidays. In US also similar kind of things are there. Many countries, European, African, all those countries. Some countries they are telling you work for 20, 22 hours, you give extra payment for that. If you work more than 24 hours or double shift, triple shift, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, till you get into the bed and you faint, or and you are absolutely bored and tired, sick, then only your discharge will be given, which means your 72 hours constant giving whatever physical things, either in the field of doctor, engineer, for that matter, pilot who is taking flight from one place to another place, long flights or short flight, they have also given a lot of time slot. Sometimes if pilots are not there, they have been given continuous job, this many number of hours probably you can fly, but there are some restrictions. What I am trying to tell you, there are many jobs, it requires physical and mental. Physical job one can do it. If I tell you chop the grass and this is the area given you, you know that 8 hours or 10 hours you will be cutting this grass and you will be taking money and go home. You don't worried about all those things. You do not worried about what is the physiological, biological condition if I cut the grass. But if you give the same job to a philosopher, he will afraid to cut the grass. He will think that if I cut the grass, there will be some oxygen level. It could have produced some oxygen. It could have given a better chance for a life. Similar way, if you are telling to cut a goat or cut a chicken, if you give a chopper man to do this job without thinking anything, closing his eyes, he will simply cut it and put into drum. For him, it is a very simple professional job he is doing. But this same job, if you are giving it to a philosopher, what he is going to do it? He will tell that I have problem in my hands. It's paining. Please excuse me. He will try to, because you have the sense that he is going to analyze very first what answer. He cannot simply say, no, I cannot do it if job is given. But nobody knows what is the philosophical understanding he has. The front fellow might not be able to analyze this. It is very important to say in a different polite way that he has got some problem, something. It is telling lies is not 100% you are not telling lies. In Mahabharata also same thing happened. So people talk about honesty. You have to be very honest every time. It is not required to speak honesty every right. There are place, there are reasoning. One has to see, if I speak this, what is going to happen? If I do this, what is going to happen? If we are not able to analyze the whole thing in a corrective or rational way, if you are not putting the rational thought process, you have problem then. You have read the poetry of Whom They Brought Her or You're Dead. I've been telling this poetry to my many friends, childhood, who read the poetry. A person having a family with wife, a kid going to war. It was hard that Because of war, that fellow died. So if somebody died, that message has to be conveyed to the family. What family they have? A 6 month kid and wife. So message came to neighbor. The neighbor gave the message to the wife, your husband had died in war. It is obvious this message has to be conveyed. After hearing this message, after hearing this message, the lady totally went into a standstill mode like a statue. His body is not movable. People thought, what is the problem that is happened? So finally, after giving little treatment, when this consciousness comes out, then the family or neighbor, she had a kid of 6 months. What they do, they lifted the kid and put under her lap. The lady started to outburst with full of cries. She started to cry like a baby. It is quite amazing what I am trying to tell. The poetry conclusion is she is trying to console herself or compose herself even though her body is totally stand still. By releasing the tears, she is trying to convey that she will be living for the kid. That is the next thing. What philosophically you see, it is not the physical body what is important. You have a journey to continue, you have somebody to take care, for that you want to live. That is what, in conclusion, if I am not able to recall, I live for thee. It is poetry is telling, that lady is telling, I live for thee. So I am correlating a poetry around 30-35 years back, what I have read. So entire world, if you see philosophically, you dissect each and everything, there is a reason. There is something happens because of not that somebody is speaking means he has got lot of time to speak. It is not that way. One has to see one when somebody is putting some logical thoughts and understanding the philosophical, the dialectical, whatever thought process in his mind, there is some reason probably. It is not coming automatically or artificially. If somebody is abusing or phrasing or something, it is not that I am abusing, I am selecting somebody, I have to abuse this person. It is not a target object that I have to abuse this and I have to praise this person. If you have a clear mind and vision, absolutely abuse and praise, both are same. Sometimes the expressions are different, but if you, the same word probably one can say, why we raise when, if you don't like anything, why you shout? People say, why you are shouting? Means what is this? If I want to say somebody a kind of word in a very polite manner, a filthy word in a polite manner, what is the impact level? When a footballer whistle it, he can simply blow it. Why he has to blow very in high pitch, in high frequency? One has to see the spirit of life. Spirit of life is something like that. People sometimes say somebody is abusive, somebody is polite, somebody is gentleman, but everybody at the end of the day, it has got many things. The same person can react in many ways. He can be abusive, he can be very polite. It varies from place to place, person to person with whom he is interacting, with whom he is talking. The same story in childhood. When you talk to a farmer, when you talk to a scientist, or when you talk to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your approach changes. You try to bring down your level up to very lower level. If you are talking to a kid, you bow down. It doesn't mean that you bow down in front of kids means you lose your social status. You bow down means you feel that you have many things to learn from the kids if you have a good mind, probably. A lot of people, they don't consider that kids, they don't know anything. But I personally feel if you want to learn many things in your life, they are the free thinkers. They speak a lot of good things. Probably one need to pick up many ideas from kid in order to excel in their life. So it is very important to understand the kids also, their psychological behavioral pattern. You need to have constant monitoring. Until or unless you have the constant monitoring their behavioral pattern, you won't be able to do it. Friends, my purpose of telling all those things, I have been doing this exercise for many years. I was trying to correlate my life, my journey, how it has been taken a different shape and dimension, how I have seen the world, how I am analyzing myself. I want to talk about that part so that matter will be clear, because I cannot talk about the other person. I can only talk about myself, so that whether it has got any relevance in correlating what I have told, that can be very useful to also analyze myself to proceed further, whether I am moving at the right direction or not. That is very interesting part. I will come back. Just give me 1 minute. I'm sweating. I need to have little water because I want to finish this. Maybe it is going to take 1 hour, absolutely no problem, but I want to finish whatever things I have taken in my mind. I want to resolve it so that it is very clear. I can go home either 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I have everything over here. I can have food and sleep, absolutely no problem. But I want to clear this mind, what I have taken in my mind. It is very important, clear this puzzle of life, the persuasion career, the many kids probably able to learn in their life what is the free thinker, why it is required to think freely, why your life direction, your education, everything is being controlled. You are simply dancing that your family is telling you get into medical engineering or any profession what you like. You may not be liking it, but okay, you just to give respect to your father, your mother, or your sister or brother, you pursue that career. But finally, once you landed to the place, you feel that something is wrong. I am not interested to become a doctor or an engineer. Why I am here? I have a very painting skill or very creative skill. Probably I need to nurture that. Why you are stopping me? Why this repetitive DNA, that blockage you are giving it? Let it explore. Have some good painting. Be a good painter. If somebody is able to write good poetry, why somebody is stopping? They don't write poetry because society is not going to feed you anything. What is that poetry is going to give you? Because you have the materialistic world, because it is fact also that poetry is not going to give you. You publish 1 2 3 4 books, you dedicate your life, hardly people read because people are very less to understand. That's why if you go back all English literature, the people who are very famous after their death, you read anybody kids after their death, all those things. A lot of big painter, like you talk about the French Revolution, you see the all painters and all the painters, they used to paint and keep it. After their death it was exposed. It's a beautiful painting. And who made money out of it? The auction fellow. I'll talk about the auction theory and other theory, how this has come, how people have got the Nobel Prize. I'll talk about the environmental thing. My purpose of telling you that sitting in an isolated place also individually, your mind is so powerful, you can do many things probably what the Nobel laureates also doing. Not only one Nobel laureate, I can show you 5 Nobel laureates work I have tried to present, and I have been doing it for 3 4 months. It is in my idea, but it clicked me, and I have tried to present that. I have all the setup ready and I have done it. I'm going to come about the explaining the whole thing. Please just wait for a minute. I'll come back. Thank you.